I want to share a story with you. And by the end of it, your third eye is going to be wide open. Now, I know the word third eye, it sounds weird, it sounds silly. So, what is it? Well, I would use the word third eye as a synonym to the all-knowing within. And why is it important for you to create that connection to the all-knowing within you? I think it's important to create that connection because by creating that connection, you get access to something that most people never get to even taste in their lifetime. And what that is what I call unshakable confidence. When you're deeply connected to the all-knowing within, you are connected to, or you've created, you have this foundation of unshakable confidence. And that is so important and it's so rare in today's world because most people's confidence is built on unstable ground. They put their confidence in other people's approval. They put their confidence in their relationships. They put their confidence in their bank account. They put their confidence in the way their body looks. And although elevating in all of those areas and optimizing all of those areas is really fun and really important, it's also a very dangerous game to give all of those things your power. And the reason is because those things are cyclical in nature. It's a natural law. Those things such as your health, the way your body looks, approval, relationships, how much money is flowing into your life, into your bank account, they have ebbs and flows. Sometimes they're amazing, sometimes they're not so much. And so if you give those things your power, if those are the things that you put all of your confidence into, well, you're going to be experiencing so many highs and lows, and life is just going to feel like this battle. But if you're deeply connected to the all-knowing within, you're unshakable. So here's the story. About 2 years ago, I'm in Costa Rica, and if you've never been, highly recommend. It's a beautiful, very expansive energy. Great for spiritual expansiveness. Great for waking up to your third eye. Great for everything. And so while I'm there, I'm speaking to a mentor of mine, a friend, and I'm asking her, hey, how can I elevate my spiritual gifts? And I'm asking her this because my North Star since I've been at the age of 19 has always been, how can I be of service? How can I serve people more powerfully? That's always been my driving factor. So asking her this, I asked her like, hey, how can I expand my spiritual gifts so I can be more of service? And she says something along the lines of, Drew, what you need to do is you need to become more sensitive and more attuned to your inner knowing. You need to be able to hear the voice that is always there guiding you in the right direction so that you always know what to say whenever you're helping somebody and you always know what to do whenever you're helping somebody. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds really cool. Thank you. How the heck do I do that? How the fuck do I create that connection? And then she goes ahead and shares with me an exercise that I do, and I'll share with you what that exercise is in a moment, but just bear with me. She shares this exercise with me. It's really simple and it's very effective. She says, do this for 5 minutes every single day. And by doing this, you're going to become more connected to that inner knowing. And because I trusted this individual, because I admired and loved her, I was like, all right, well, I'm going to do that. So I do it every single day, don't miss a day. A couple months pass. And I can notice myself becoming more confident. I can notice myself just becoming more clear and more convicted with absolutely everything that I do in my life. And so it's pretty cool, but nothing really crazy has happened yet. And then 2 months later, and this is when the thing that's crazy is about to happen. 2 months later, I'm in Italy, another beautiful place to visit, another beautifully spiritually expansive place to be. I'm in Italy, and I'm still doing my exercise. I'll share with you what that is in a moment. I'm still doing my exercise, 5 minutes a day, every single day. And then I'm also listening to an Alan Watts book. And this is where it starts to get a little bit interesting. I'm listening to this Alan Watts book. I believe it's the book, The Wisdom of Insecurity. I might be wrong there. I honestly recommend that you listen to everything Alan Watts has written and shared. His stuff is so incredible. But anyways, inside of this book, he says something along the lines of the gurus of India, and I'm sure all gurus are similar. He just spent a lot of time there, I think. So the gurus of India, he says, they would go speak to the masses. They'd go speak to individuals. And the masses, whether it's a group of people, whether it's one person, they would come up to these gurus crying, just shedding tears of frustration, of doubt, of my family. Everybody just died, or I have no money to buy food, or things are really challenging with my business. They would come to the gurus in so much pain, so much struggle, and the gurus would sit there and just laugh, or they would sit there and just smile, and they would say, this is exactly where you belong, and this is so beautiful that you're going through this. This is the most epic opportunity for you. And they would just like giggle. And the reason these gurus would giggle in the midst of so much chaos happening right in front of them, the reason they would do that is because they were able to see through all of the bullshit, all of the stories, all of the smoke and mirror. They'd be able to penetrate through that, and it would not distract them. And Alan Watts says the way they were able to do that is they would go in with the intention. The guru would speak from Godhead to Godhead, from the all-knowing within to the all-knowing within, from the higher mind to the higher mind, from the third eye to the third eye. That's how the gurus would speak to people. And listening to that, I'm like, whoa, that's really cool. I want to try that because I want to be a service. I want to try to speak like a guru would speak, right? And so I have a full day of calls later that afternoon. After I kind of hear this, I'm like, whoa, that's really cool. So I think to myself, all right, I'm going to experiment with this. I want to try speaking from Godhead to Godhead. I just want to see what that's like. So I go in with that intention. I'm going to speak from Godhead to Godhead, from my third eye to their third eye. And I would intentionally like focus my energy here, and I would focus my energy to that same part, that point on their body. The pineal gland, as most people call it, or some people call it. So I'm doing that. And I had this very transcendent experience, this very, it felt like full of ecstasy. It was like this amazing, orgasmic, incredible experience where I'm sitting there talking to this woman on Zoom, it's all online, from Godhead to Godhead. And I'm literally staring at her third eye. I'm not even looking her in her eyes. I'm staring at her third eye. And she's coming to me with so many stories. It's the stories that we all have. She comes to me and says, Drew, I'm struggling. I don't know what to do. I don't have the resources. I don't have the support. The same stories we all have, right? My mother didn't show me the love that I needed. My father wasn't emotionally present. On and on and on about these stories. And as she's speaking to them, none of them affected me. So I was able to notice what was actually true for her. And I was able to speak to that, and she was able to rise up to where my energy was. And she quickly rose up, and she was also able to see through her crazy shit. And so by seeing through all that crazy shit, by seeing through those stories, she was finally able to see the many paths ahead of her that she didn't even know were right in front of her the entire time. And it was different than how I normally speak to people. Prior to that, when people would come to me with their stories, I would think to myself, oh, well, these are just excuses. But being able to see from Godhead to Godhead is beyond thinking these stories are excuses. It's thinking and knowing that these stories have no influence outside of the influence that we give them. Aside from that, they're literally non-existent. They're not real. They're not real. So how can you access that whether you're serving others, but most importantly, when you're just serving yourself. Because this is cool when I'm talking to other people, but it's even cooler when I'm looking at myself in the mirror. And when I'm experiencing these stories that I think are real, but because I've done this exercise that I'll share with you in a moment, I'm able to see through them and they no longer stick. And because they don't stick, I'm free. I'm free to express, I'm free to move fast rather than these stories sticking and holding me down. So I want this same experience, I want this to be something that you can taste. Waking up the all-knowing within, and it's literally just as simple as you making a commitment, trying this exercise that I'll show you right now, trying this exercise 5 minutes a day. Just do that for 7 days. And if you enjoy it, if you're noticing some type of improvement, keep doing it. I did it for like 2 to 3 months, I think like 2.5 months or so before I had the whoa, aha experience. So it might take some time, or it might be something that you get real quickly. I don't know, we're all a little bit different. But the exercise is really simple. And the intention with this exercise is to become more sensitive to the all-knowing that is already there. It's not about cultivating a new skill. It's about just fine-tuning and remembering the skills that you already have. It's about quieting the noise and becoming more sensitive and attuned to the guidance that's always right in front of you, my friend. So what that exercise is, this is what you do. You lay down, you gently put your hands on your ears. You do this with your eyes closed. You inhale through your nose. You exhale through whatever feels most natural, normal. And when you exhale, you hum. I don't know if you can hear that on the camera. You inhale, and you hum. Inhale, hum. Hands gently right here. And the reason your hands are right here, it's because it gives you an area to focus your attention. And what you're going to do is you're going to imagine and visualize this energy flowing from hand to hand, from ear to ear. And this energy is flowing in basically like the shape of an infinity logo. In the center of that infinity is, guess what, right into your third eye. So it focuses your energy right there. So you're shifting a lot of your energy to your pineal gland, as they call it. Again, this is not something that I've gathered by reading textbooks or watching videos. This is all experiential. So I want this to be experiential for you so that you can go have these moments of being able to see through other people's stories, because that is one of the most beautiful gifts that we can ever give ourselves. Is to be able to see through other people's stories so you can actually be grounded and hold love and power for them, because goodness, people need that now, today, more than ever. They need someone like you who is not going to be caught up in the storm of, oh, this is right, this is wrong. And instead you're able to actually see what is true, what's underneath all of the smoke and mirrors. Once everything settles, what's actually there. You can connect with that with other people. You can connect with that with yourself. And that is a taste of real freedom, my beautiful friend. And once you get that guidance, that's step one. Step two, which perhaps we'll do another video on, but step two is you trusting that guidance and you acting boldly, courageously, quickly. You notice the guidance and you act. We'll perhaps share a story on how you can begin acting with that guidance, but just for the sake of this video, it's simply become more sensitive and become more attuned to that guidance. If you enjoyed this, give it a thumbs up, like, subscribe, share, peace, be bold. Thank you.